Hi everyone, and welcome to Screams After Midnight. This is the horror movie podcast here on the Male Fuzz Podcast Network. In fact, if you're on the video, it's down there. You can see it, Male Fuzz. I'm Peter, of course. Joining me today is Tim.
Ho, ho, ho.
Very good. And Kevin is here.
Joining me today is Santa with dreadlock beard.
With dreadlock beard. Very good. Joseph is not here this week. He couldn't make it. But we are here. We are in the festive spirit because we're going to be talking about Silent Night, Deadly Night. This is a movie that was released in 1984 and was directed by Charles E. Sellier Jr. That's a name.
Great
and
man.
yeah, I think this is the sort of movie where you see the poster and you're like, I need to see this. You know, you see Santa's hand sticking out the chimney with the axe, and you're like, damn it, I need to see this.
Yeah.
So, I seen this for the first time maybe 3-4 years ago, something like that. And I think you'd seen it as well, haven't you, Tim?
Yeah, I seen it pretty early on. Like this, I must have seen when I was a young kid because I like specifically remember like the VHS box art, like in Blockbuster and stuff. But I haven't really seen it like in a long time until last year. I got a DVD box set that comes with 1 and 2 and watched them back to back.
Oh, nice. So, full spoilers as always on this show because we're going to talk about the film. Now, Kevin, as someone who hadn't seen it already, I'm very interested to what you think of this movie.
Last year when I was doing my horror-thon, I had posted on Facebook that I had watched this film, but I always post at the start of when I start watching the film, so I fell asleep and didn't get to finish it. So this is technically the first time I watched it.
Right, okay. How far did you get the first time?
Like 10 minutes. So
Right, okay.
not far at all.
Oh.
I don't know. I was very iffy on this film, and I can't
Really?
tell. Yeah, I can't tell if it's because of the absurd amount of everything in it. It's just over the top in every single way, and I don't really like that in films.
Well, I have
Or-
a theory about this movie.
Okay.
Which my theory is that it takes place in an alternate universe where like Santa is like the center of everything. Or at the very least, it has a weird connection like with this one dude's life. Cause like this movie is super Santa focused. Like I don't know
of
about
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
it is.
but like I don't know. I feel like Santa wasn't that big a deal growing up. Like yeah, you liked him for a few years as you're a kid, but then it was just like a
Well, yeah,
meh
but to be
thing.
fair, Tim, we never watched Santa murder our parents. I mean, really,
Like-
this kid should have grown up to be Christmas Batman. And
What I-
instead,
What I love about this is like that alone should have been enough to like make this kid snap and like become crazy and obsessed with Santa. But the movie keeps throwing Santa in his life. Like first he has his creepy grandfather like warning him about Santa, which like no one's ever done. Then a guy dressed up as Santa murders his parents. Then he gets sent to an orphanage where they force him to sit on Santa's lap. A dude that watched Santa murder his parents, these nuns are like mad at him because he doesn't want to sit on Santa's lap.
yeah, that's
Like-
something we need to talk about. That is
Yeah.
where the movie, like the absurdity of the movie, really came into it for me. Like, why are they? These are horrible, like nuns, and I guess they're also teachers and kind of like parents almost. Like, this is horrible therapy. You don't force someone who's been through a trauma to like face that thing, and like, especially as a kid.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you wonder, like, oh, did they not know that like he had this past with Santa? Nope, they absolutely
knew.
knew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like you could just not ask Santa to come by. Like it's not like it's that unfair to the other children to
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I love the little girl and like, cause in the classroom, and the nun's like, I don't know what his name is. I can't remember. But let me tell you, I'm on IMDb. I can actually tell you what his name is.
Billy?
Billy
Um,
Parker? Billy?
It's Billy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, go on, Billy, put your picture up in the blackboard, and he goes up to put it up, and I just love the girl's life. He was like, "Oh, Miss, look!" And it was not even that bad. It was,
No.
Yeah,
someone killed someone. It was fine.
bit weird for like a 6-year-old to do, but
Well, see, the absurdity started like with me like right in the beginning with
Yeah.
that scene with his grandfather.
Yeah, yeah.
it's like, don't they ever tell you about Santa Claus?
He's coming for you, boy.
Who, by the way, is supposed to be like in like a coma almost.
Yeah.
You know, he's in that, like, he doesn't talk to people or realise they're there. But he comes out of it to warn his grandson about Santa Claus.
He's managed to convince the entire like medical facility that he's in this coma, this vegetative state, and then he's
like-
able to just break character.
But like, why? Like, what would be so crazy about him that he'd be like, "All right, like I'm gonna snap out of it, but only to this like one kid for like 2 minutes." Like, I don't know, it's so bizarre. I mean, it's weird that the parents would even leave him. Like, like,
Yeah.
hey, just stay here with like your comatose grandfather in this like living room where
Yeah.
it's just them. There's like
And
no
it-
one else in this like hospital or whatever.
When he mentions it to his parents that he said this, they kind of just go, "Wait, do you think he actually spoke?
Yeah.
Or should I phone the hospital?"
They don't doubt that the child is lying at all. Like, Billy wouldn't lie.
Yeah, she literally has a line where she says, I don't see why he would lie.
Yeah.
He's
No,
a
but they're
fucking
not-
kid, that's why he would lie.
but they're like not like they seem like they believe it, but they're not that like
Fussed
amazed
about
by it. They're just like, oh, maybe he's
Yeah.
talking now.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, when they're driving home, this is like another theory about my alternate universe thing. Because did you hear that Christmas song they're playing on the radio?
No?
It's like it's like such a weird Christmas song. It's like Santa's watching, Santa's
Oh, yeah.
creeping.
It starts, yeah.
like what Christmas song is that? Like, I don't know. I thoroughly believe this is like an alternate universe where Santa Claus is something to be feared.
I love how we've spent this much time, we're still on the opening 10 minutes of the movie.
The film is just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but I love it because it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I love how evil the guy dressed up like Santa in the beginning is. Like,
Yeah,
like
he
it's
just
not.
shoots people, like, so he doesn't even try to like carjack them, he just immediately pulls out his gun and he's,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
he's ready to
And
go to
then
town.
and it's like
$38. Merry Christmas.
and like, and like it's not enough that like he just has to kill the parents, but of course he has to drag the mom out and like start raping her too. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think he was going to rape her and then she slapped him because, you know, like, if you're a rapist, you're offended that the woman's trying to get away.
Oh
So
yeah.
it upsets him and he feels, oh, well, in that case, I'm just going to kill her. Like, you're surprised that she tried to get away? Tried to resist the rape?
It's bizarre.
Yeah, there's a
And of
lot
course,
there's a
he's-
lot of
he's-
weird rape in this, actually, now that we're talking
Yeah.
about it.
Oh yeah.
We'll get to that other scene later, but
Yeah, if you thought like, okay, like yeah, there's just that one rape. Nope. That's this is a Christmas movie. Of
Yeah,
course there's gonna be multiple.
but at least this guy, he's been shown to be evil and like shoot people in the face. So you're like, okay,
Yeah.
he's a rapist. That makes sense. Like, it doesn't surprise me
Yeah.
that he's also a rapist,
Yeah.
right? But later on, the office douche essentially also
Yeah.
happens to be a rapist.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
yeah,
was weird.
weird.
Everyone is awful in this world.
Apparently, yeah.
Like no, there's not one character that's like, oh, that they look like maybe they're a good person. Like I don't know, maybe that one. No, I don't know.
So Billy gets a job. So we skip years later, and Billy gets a job at a toy store. And
Yeah.
first thing I want to say is, are they implying that? See, when he first shows it, because the nuns try to convince the store owner, the
Oh,
manager,
I love this scene.
to give Billy a job, and he's like, no, it's not, no room for kids. It's lifting heavy boxes and blah blah blah. It's like, well, that's a shame because here's Billy, and the camera tilts up Billy's body really slowly, like showing off the muscles, right? And it cuts back to the manager, and it's like, I don't remember there being implied like him like being gay and like wanting to
Oh,
fuck
that-
Billy, but
There's some serious homosexual undertones
It's there.
in that scene.
It's definitely there.
I don't know if it's intentional, but it is
Is it
palpable.
Was it even there for the like? Does it ever like even
No.
hinted at again? No, it's just that one scene.
No, it's just a really weird scene.
Actually, no, it is hinted at once more that I think about it, because after he accepts the job, there's like a montage of Billy doing good work, like lifting boxing and stuff. And
Yeah.
at one point, Billy, all he does is he notices like the book on like it's like a colouring book or something like that for girls, and it's like slanty on the shelf, and he straightens it up. But just as he's doing that, the manager like comes out of his office and notices him do it, and he sort of
Yeah.
smiles like, he's doing a good job. He straightened up that one book. That's nice. Good work, Billy.
There's definitely, yeah. I mean, I would not be surprised if there's some behind the scenes point where they got it on, because
Wait, what?
the attraction between them was way too much.
It was
They
off the
definitely-
charts, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously, did you see Billy? Come on.
he's a pretty tough, good-looking young.
I really like how, like, because obviously it keeps hinting that he doesn't like Santa, and he's got Santa problems.
Yeah.
He's got like
Oh,
post-traumatic stress syndrome from Santa, because they're pulling out the banner, and he like focuses on Santa in the middle, and you just
And-
see him like sort of like, you know, like,
And again, it's like it would have been perfectly reasonable for him to go to his boss or for the nun that got him the job to just say, "Oh, just one small thing. He had a traumatic past with Santa, so maybe around Christmas time, keep him away from the Santa stuff, or maybe have him take like 2 weeks off or something."
Instead, and I love this, by the way. I love this plot setup. Oh, the guy who was meant to play Santa phoned in sick. Oh, call the agency. Well, I did, but they only have women temps. And, you know, this requires a man. And right away, like, oh shit, they're going to make him dress up as Santa. Oh fuck, this is where he's going to lose his shit. And I actually love the scene.
So ludicrous.
Because, you know, the kids come to see him, and like the parents are all standing there, and the little girl Autumn's just like crying, and he's like, "Hey, you need to be nice. You're being naughty." And do you know what happens to kids who are naughty? They get punished.
Which again, not part of Santa mythology.
At
Like,
all.
that's never- no.
Actually, I love how like when he does go like full on serial killer, he keeps shouting out punished, and then either punished or naughty. He keeps shouting out those two things, and it's pretty glorious. But yeah, the inciting incident, the thing that makes him snap. So Christmas Eve, they close the store, and everyone's having a bit of a toy store office party, if you will, and they're all getting drunk. And the douchebag who works there takes the woman who I thought was going to be the love interest. Not this time because I've seen it before, but the first time I watched it,
Yeah.
I thought this woman was going to be the kind of love interest that he likes and survives throughout the whole film, and is the one that maybe talks him down at the end or something like that. I don't know. The office douche just takes her into the back, sexually assaults her. Like, literally, he just leans in and rips her shirt open.
Yeah.
To which she slaps him, and then he seems surprised that she
Again.
slapped him, because he sort of like gets stunned and goes, "Oh, you!" I can't remember. It says like 5 words, but it ends in "bitch," right? And
Yeah.
like just this insult, and then he like starts holding her down, and I'm like, "This is a co-worker. You can't get away with this. It's a fucking co-worker." Not that I'm saying rape's okay when it's a stranger. I'm saying that just from his perspective,
Yeah.
he's not going to get away with this.
And like they're just like in a back room. They're not like in a
Yeah.
isolated cabin or
Yeah,
something.
it's not a locked door. It's nothing. So Billy still dresses Santa. Saunters on back in. Oh, by the way, before that, there's a conversation with the manager, which is basically that Batman comic that everyone likes to meme. That's so hey Batman, what are your parents getting for your Christmas? My parents are dead. Right. There's basically that scene with the manager. So Billy goes back, sees this has happened, snaps, kills the guy with a hammer, I believe, in the head.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. And at this point, you're sort of thinking as an audience, okay, that's a bit extreme, but he was a rapist. He was sexually assaulting someone. I'm not completely against Billy at this point, right? You know, like he's not, he's not unsympathetic. But then
He's been dealt a pretty bad hand up until
he
now.
immediately turns around and kills the woman who was getting raped.
Yeah. Why? Why?
And I'm like,
She was not naughty.
okay. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, I don't get that. He also hangs up the guy with the Christmas lights. In fact, he's got superhuman strength because he just like picks him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that too. So he kills everyone in the store. Manager goes, the other co-workers, they go as well. Everyone's killed. They're dead.
So that should be enough for him, right?
I don't know. He goes out with his axe. He's on the prowl. He goes into one random family who I don't think we've even seen any of them before.
Nope.
There's the teenagers who are trying to have sex while the little sister's upstairs. The girl, because from this part on, the film is basically just a couple of random kill scenes, and then the cops are after him, and then it's the ending. So this is the first of the two main random ones. The girl gets impaled on the antlers of a deer head in the wall.
That was a really cool kill.
That was a cool kill. How does his boyfriend get killed again? I can't remember.
Is that the one that he tossed out the window?
Yeah, tossed out the window in the glass.
With
glass.
the largest piece of unbroken glass in the world.
In his
That was
side.
just like almost the entire window was just sticking out of his chest. It made no
Beautiful.
sense.
And then the little sister comes out and is like, "Have you been naughty? Or have you been nice?" He's like, "I've been nice. Oh, here's this little scalpel here. This thing me knife.
Box cutter.
Yeah,
This
box
rusty
cutter knife.
razor blade.
Yeah, with it's got blood on it. Merry Christmas." Like, holy shit. Actually, before we move on, I really liked when the teenagers are trying to have sex, and the little girl's like coming down the stairs. And the big sister says, "If you don't go to bed, Santa won't come." I love that the boyfriend says he's not the only one. Well, that's actually a funny little line.
That's not bad.
Not bad. And then we get the bobsledding, not bobsledding.
Oh,
Just the sledding. Just the sledding. Pretty much the bobsledding. So there's the two kids who are somewhat sympathetic. The two bullies come in, and then we're okay that they die because they're bullies.
Yeah.
yeah.
And the first guy goes
it's
down the hill. The second one goes down the hill, and then Billy jumps out and decapitates him. So then the headless body goes down to
see
the
it
bottom.
sledding.
Yeah.
Which, like, the body surprisingly was able to stay upright
Yeah.
during.
I'm fine with
You
that.
think it would just automatically have fallen over, but no.
I'm fine with that. The only thing I think's weird about that scene is that it cuts away before he kills the other kid.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I
Sort of-
assume he kills him anyway, but I thought it was weird.
Well, maybe that kid was nice.
He bullied the other kids just the same. They were both bullies.
But I mean, how thorough? When he's asking someone if they've been naughty or nice, how thorough is he checking?
So have you been naughty or nice? A bit of both. It's like, oh, a bit of both. Well, in that case, let me get my forms out and we'll see if you're eligible for some killing. Yeah, and then the cop and the sort of the nicer nun that was trying to help him figure out that he's going back to the school or whatever, you know,
Yeah, it's the orphanage.
on Christmas Day, the orphanage, yeah. And a poor deaf priest dressed in a Santa outfit gets shot down by a cop who I don't think really does enough to make sure it is who he thinks it is.
No, they.
Oh, I love this.
Opens fire.
These are pretty inept cops. And
Yeah.
this is actually the second time they've mistaken someone's identity. They also busted into that other house
Yeah, that's
earlier
right.
in the night.
Yeah.
and busted that dad.
Daddy? I,
I was
Yeah,
really
these
sad
are not
that he
good
got
cops.
killed.
yeah, I really love that. And I love how it cuts, like, they explain it later, but it's like, oh, he wouldn't have heard the cop shouting out because he was deaf. And I'm like,
Yeah.
did the cop even shout out? I don't even remember him actually saying, I'm a
think
cop,
so.
stop. I just remember him opening fire.
But like also like yeah, like why not like run up and tackle him? It's not like the person was
Yeah.
turning around about to shoot him or anything, or shoot him in the leg or something.
Yeah, shoot him in the leg. There you go. There's a better option. Jesus. So,
I was genuinely sad whenever the woman went, "That's Father McGrady or whatever his name was."
Yeah.
Like, oh God,
it was a
Yeah.
priest.
the deaf 54-year-old priest.
It was
Nothing
deaf.
good happens to anyone in this movie,
And all I kept
except for
thinking
the
is,
little girl that gets a box
Yeah.
cutter.
yeah. All I kept thinking though after that, because the Santa gets shot down in front of all the kids, I'm like, well, that's another set of like 20 serial killers in the making. Seriously. And Billy's little brother's there as well, actually, because that's the kid at the end, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the baby they love.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything about it or go into spoilers because we might want to do it later. But have any of you seen Silent Night, Deadly Night 2?
I have not. I am familiar with the plot.
No.
I am familiar with the fact that half of it's the first movie again. We'll probably do that next year.
Yeah.
So we won't go into it. But yes, I'm familiar that the brother ends up being the one in the second movie. But that's pretty cool. That's clearly the hint at the end. The camera just goes out of this kid and he's like, naughty. Jeez. Yeah, so there's a little bit of the cops sort of waiting about. And I love how they've sent one cop to protect the entire orphanage full of kids and the nuns. It's one cop with a gun, sneaking around who gets killed really easily.
For this guy that's killed like how many, probably at least 10 people at this point.
Yeah, 8-10 people, something like that. Yeah,
like that's pretty serious.
Yeah, that's like a whole SWAT team usually that would be dealing with this, but no, just the one, because they only had the budget for one cop uniform. You see.
Yeah.
So, they get shot at the end. That's it. I actually really like this movie. I'm not saying it's a good movie.
No.
But it's one of these gloriously sort of goofy 80s slasher movies that I really like. I feel like the heart's kind of in the right place, as bizarre as that sounds. It's like, the plot was, a kid gets distraught as a kid, he becomes a killer Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I
guess I'm just not. The reason I didn't really. I thought, like going back over, and I thought like it was good for what it was, but
it was fun. There was good kills.
Yeah.
There were some good laugh out loud moments that weren't necessarily intended, but worked.
I think it was good for what it was, but I think the reason I didn't really like it as well as you two maybe did is because I don't really have that overarching fondness for 80s slasher films.
That'll change the more we go through this show.
I hope it does.
You'll either change or you'll just hate us for making you watch so many of them.
Yeah.
Because they're coming. Oh, they're coming. Does anyone else want to say anything before we get to ratings?
I mean, just to kind of echo what you said, it's not a great movie, but I have a lot of fun with this. It's it's super cheesy, but very entertaining, very watchable. It's, doesn't bore me or anything. So
no, it's like 80 minutes long. It's as short as it needs to be. Gets in, does its thing, gets out.
Yeah.
No muss, no fuss. So, how many bloody box cutters out of 10 are we going to give this Christmas slasher classic, Kevin?
It's like whenever I first came on, I'm thinking of giving it like a 5.5, maybe a 6. I'm gonna bump that up to like a 6.57.
Oh yeah.
So I think I'll be very generous because the film has been very nice, and give it a 7.
Oh, that's the holiday spirit for you right there.
Yeah.
Timmy, what about you?
I'm gonna go somewhat high as well. And again, just keeping in mind, I'm not saying this is a great movie or high art or anything, but again, especially if you like bad or cheesy movies, this is a ton of fun. So I'd go as high as a 7.5.
Yeah. Okay. I'm actually going to echo similar number. I'm going to say 7 box cutters out of 10. And that's it's kind of a weird one because objectively, in terms of filmmaking, in terms of the usual things that we grade films by, it's pretty bad. It should probably be under 5. But it's so much fun. And I feel like 7's what I can land on. Where I don't feel like I feel like giving it an 8 would feel like, oh no, I'm being far too But at the same time, I do like it almost as enough to do it. So 7's what I land on. 7's where I land on. I really like it. A lot of fun. So
I feel like with stuff like this, you almost have to look at different types of scale. There's the actual movie scale, and when you're looking at something in actual terms of filmmaking, which, like you said, would be really low with that. But then if you're just looking at stuff that's so bad it's good, or just kind of cheesy, popcorn fun, it can get pretty high.
So okay. So with that said, we will be back next week with another Christmas horror movie. So look forward to that. Let us know what you think of the movie in the comments below if you're on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube and you listen to this iTunes, Stitcher, you can of course let us know via email, mailedfuzz@gmail.com, or tweet at us at mailedfuzz_Twitter. Wait, what?
Let us know in the comments
sorry,
if you've been naughty or nice.
I said that wrong. At mailed_fuzz. I said mailfuzz_Twitter. I don't know why I said that. At mailed_fuzz. So yeah, do that, guys. And of course, you can find us elsewhere and around. Kevin, where can people find you?
You can find me on Letterboxd and Twitter at MomoGuy123. That's it.
Good.
And not anywhere else. Don't
Not
come
yet. Maybe one day. Maybe if you get a better mic, I might let you be on something else.
Maybe.
Timmy, where can people find you?
Any social media thing at Tim Vargulish, and if you want to check out my comic book stuff, facebook.com/goatmancomics.
Cool. You can of course find me on Twitter and other social media places such as Letterboxd if you're into following what we were watching movies wise and stuff like that. You can find me all that stuff at Wibble89. You can of course find me on a bunch of other shows here on the network because I basically run the joint. Such as the Movies Podcast, TV stuff, video game stuff, whole bunch of stuff. So check all that stuff out. If you're on YouTube, you'll be on the Mailed Fuzz Movies channel. Check out the TV channel and the video games channel. Alternatively, you'll find links to them on the main page. Because it's all good stuff. But that said, if you don't care about any of that, you just want to hear about movies, or even more specifically, you just want to hear about horror movies, and you just want to watch this show, that's fine too.
The best kind of movies.
Of course, the best kind. Go away with your Star Wars The Force Awakens, sir. I'll take my Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Obviously.
On that note, actually, this coming weekend on Saturday, there is going to be on this movie channel on YouTube. There is going to be a giant review of Star Wars: The Force Awakens with a whole bunch of us on there. So, if you are into Star Wars and you want to hear, about 6 of us talk about it for like 2 hours, that will be there, and you can enjoy that. So, I don't usually plug specific content like that, but Star Wars is a bit of an event, and so, there you go. So, yeah, thanks as always for sticking around, hearing our thoughts, and we'll see you next week. So keep watching scary movies. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next time.
Punish.